BlackRock is a company which does not need an introduction. BlackRock is one of the biggest financial players on this planet and controls a huge chunk of resources in an almost developed economy. But BlackRock as a company has always been surrounded in controversies, and in this video we will go into details about why BlackRock is facing a severe financial crunch, which could mean that it's facing a sure demise. So stay tuned as we talk more about the financial chaos staring BlackRock in the face in 2023. But before we continue further, I would request you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. BlackRock's financial success has run its course. This means that now BlackRock's days of glory are over. But the question is, why are you only learning about this now? BlackRock as a company has infiltrated the US government at the highest echelons. It has been sending some of its high-powered executives to high-profile government jobs and has been hiring ex-government employees through the world-famous revolving door lobby system of the United States. There is evidence to suggest this. Eric von Nordstrom, who is the former managing director of BlackRock, is now working as a senior advisor for the current US President Joe Biden. BlackRock's former chief investment officer Mike Pyle is now working as a chief economic advisor for the vice president Kamala Harris. Not only that, but Biden's government also has hired BlackRock executives for the position of deputy treasury and chief of National Economic Council. What does this job placement pattern suggest? This means that BlackRock holds a huge sway over the US government, and this can result in crony capitalist practices because once you have that kind of monopoly over the government, it can squeeze competition from the market. This just so happens to be a case of government corruption and corporatism bringing America down. Coming back to BlackRock, this global conglomerate has its nasty little tentacles in every sizable market sector around the globe, and this overreach has started to attract unwanted attention. Even mainstream media, which has traditionally kept mum over reports of corporate malfeasance and collusion with various corporate entities linked to BlackRock. The first of these reports indicated that BlackRock is engaged in buying entire towns in the US. Much of this leverage took the form of coercing entire communities to rent and gaining monopoly over the market in the process. There was a piece published in the Wall Street Journal which gave an insight into how BlackRock functions. It gives off the illusion that most of the houses being bought in the market are being done so by pension funds. But BlackRock did not take this expose lying down. Instead, BlackRock published a detailed press release denying any part of this scheme. But if you dig deep in the story, you will find that BlackRock is heavily investing in bulk buying apartment complexes and multifamily houses and any disposable real estate. But the mainstream media is not reporting all this. Somehow, BlackRock's involvement in US's largest companies has gone unnoticed. Did you know that BlackRock maintains 7% of Fox News and over 8% of its shares in Comcast? Now that's not a dominating stake in the company's shares, but it's enough to give them a voice in the company's policies. BlackRock even owns 6% of Google, which means that it has some stakes into YouTube as well. Now, as we mentioned previously, BlackRock also has a dominating controlling interest in other countries like France, for instance. Recently, the French started to riot in front of BlackRock's headquarters. This is very interesting, since French protesters are famous for protesting against the government. This would be the first time in recent history when these people protested against a private company. These people broke into the office and started to shout slogans against the company. This is completely unprecedented, because BlackRock was famous for orchestrating its moves from behind the curtains. Now the people are aware of what BlackRock is up to. If the people are aware of what companies like BlackRock are up to, then it would be extremely difficult to engage in the same shadowy machinations which groups like this are notorious for. But how is BlackRock facing a crisis exactly? It all started with global environment ratings which listed ExxonMobil as one of the best businesses for the planet. Elon Musk published a tweet about it and made a point about ExxonMobil could be good for Earth while its own electric car company Tesla was not even in the list. After Elon Musk's incendiary tweet, the world really did catch fire and media companies started to take notice. Most independent journalists agreed with Elon Musk about the system being skewed towards such conglomerates. Now, what does this have to do with BlackRock? Well, BlackRock, one of the largest fund managing companies in the world, has a 6.7% share in ExxonMobil. But the star of this saga was Sam Bankman-Fried's arrest. Before his arrest, he was running one of the most profitable ESG businesses and scammed millions through crypto exchange, and also donated a huge part of his stolen money to Democrats and Republicans to win their favor. But when he was arrested, he came out in the public and said that he made completely false claims such as ESG had become carbon neutral. Due to such tall claims, he was able to rake in a lot of money. Now this has given a bad image to the whole commercial enterprise, and every investor is running away from investing in ESG, which means bad news for BlackRock. So the fact that you are only learning about this now means that BlackRock had already bought off most of the media. Now that you know about this, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up so that other interested viewers can find it too. Thank you.